Alright, so if we take a look here, we'll just start at the top of the page. Max started with this equation each time. 2 plus 4 is equal to 3 times 2. Alright, and then he modeled it using counters. So you can see this is 2 plus 4. That's what it would look like. You leave a little space in between here. That's how you are basically showing that it's an adding. And then on the other side, this little squiggly line, that's basically your equal sign when you're making a diagram. And then he had 3 groups of 2. 3 times 2. 1, 2, 3 groups of 2. Alright? Now, we're going to take a look at the next part here. First, Max subtracted 4 away from each side. So, that's what he did. And he drew kind of a grouping around 4 of them and showed a little arrow. And that means take away. And he did it to both sides. And you're going to notice that if you do something to one side of your equation, for example, the left side, the right side of your equation, if you want to keep things balanced, you have to do exactly the same thing to both sides. So if he took away only 4 from the left side, and he didn't take away 4 from the right side, he would be out of balance, because 2 does not equal 6, right? So you have to do the same thing. And over here is how you do it with symbols. That's how you would write it with symbols. 6 minus 4 equals 6 minus 4, right? Each side now has 2 counters. Second, Max added 2 to each side. Alright? So, he's just put 2 there. 2 counters added onto each side, and there is no arrow. I guess I screwed up last time I made a video about that, and I said put an arrow going in. Well, you don't. You just kind of draw them in beside. There's a little group of 2, and you leave a little space, and that means that you are adding them to the group. Okay? And he did the same thing on both sides, because he had to keep it balanced. Each side now has 8 counters. The third thing that he did, Max multiplied each side by 2. 6 times 2 equals 6 times 2, right? So, to draw it in a diagram, he just put a group of 6 and a second group of 6. So he's got 2 groups of 6, and that's equal to 6 times 2, and he did the same thing on both sides. There's a group of 6 and another group of 6. And they equal each other because each side now has 12 counters. And fourth, some dividing. Max divided both sides by 2. 6 divided by 2 is equal to 6 divided by 2. So he took his total group of 6 and he divided them into 2 little parts. Each part has 3. 2 groups of 3. And that is showing the dividing part. Okay? So, it's just, this whole page is just trying to show you that you can add, you can subtract, you can multiply, and you can divide. And if you do the same thing to both sides of your equation, it still equals. Alright? Everything stays in balance if you do the same thing to the left side and do the same thing to the right side.